Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Tuesday, October 7th. It is 5:55 right now. Our scheduled entry is at 6 o'clock. So let me go ahead and copy this over. So we're looking to get into this entry over here. 6 o'clock. It's gonna be against momentum. Okay. Yeah, so looking at the settings over here, the uh the uh the history of trades show that it hits pretty much every Tuesday. So I mean, obviously this is a no-brainer for me to take it, whether it's just a good setup overall. I'm looking for it to be a buy, of course, because or a sell actually, sorry. We're looking for price to basically reverse at 6 o'clock. It's been pushing up and we're looking for it to swing back down after this overextension. So we'll kind of see what happens here. I mean, obviously I'm going to be looking for a possible sell here as price, turns the other way. Um, But we'll kind of see where it goes. So looking at the dates over here from like previous entries. So the 30th was last Tuesday. It was right here a win. The Tuesday before that was the 23rd. It was also a win. The 16th before that was also a win. So basically it's won pretty much every Tuesday for the past month basically. So I mean the numbers are good. The historical data is good. The win percentage is very good. It's 81.25%. Profit factor is 8.6. So it looks overall like a good entry. I'm gonna be looking here for a sell, so I'm gonna be waiting for it to flip the other way. If it's a buy, then I'm probably not gonna take it because it looks like it's gonna be a sell here. So I just have an idea. The more and more that we take these entries for the momentum algo, the easier it is to identify the direction of price. It's not really random because we're kind of just looking for price here to basically reverse. So what I'm looking for right here at 6 o'clock is I'm looking for price to, it's currently been pushing up. It's been pushing up, going sideways, pushing back up higher, and then I'm looking for the reversal here to happen. Uh, Over here, at 620, the next entry, we're kind of looking for price to actually continue down lower. So what I'm looking for here, and I'm just looking at the setups over here that I have lined up, like basically I'm looking for price to, it's currently pushing up. I'm looking for it to go sideways for a bit, reverse, and then continue down lower from here. And then again, we'll have more setups later, closer to 7. Which we'll discuss when we get closer to that period, right? When we cross that bridge, we'll discuss that. But right now, we're more focused here on the entry at 6 o'clock. We got 2 minutes till 6, so we're just waiting for this here to come up. But yeah, basically right here at 6 o'clock, it has an 81.3% win ratio, 2040 CP stop loss. The historical data shows that it wins pretty much every Tuesday. And it's been on a pretty solid win streak here. If you can see over here, it's been pretty much pushing up a lot. Out of the 16 trades for this specific entry at 6 o'clock, it's hit 13 out of the 16 times. That's pretty incredible, right? So every day at 6 o'clock, it hits 13 out of 16 trades. That's um that's pretty remarkable. This shows you that at 6 o'clock, it's not random, right? The movement here is not random. What's happening at 6 o'clock? It um it repeats itself. So see what happens over here. Yeah, so Blanco said I'm waiting for a sell as well. So this against momentum sounds good. Yeah, 100%. So just gotta wait a little bit. We got 20 seconds until 6 o'clock, and then after the 6 o'clock candle comes, we're gonna be waiting for it to close. So let's see what's here so far. Morning Karen, morning Maria, morning Ben, morning Sharon, morning Daniel, morning Blanco, morning everybody. It looks like you guys got here perfect timing for this entry. Um, I'm going to be up wherever the money's at, right? I'm going to be following the money. So wherever the money's at, wherever the algo tells me the entries are best, I'll be looking to get up and get into these entries. So we got about 40 seconds left on this candle right here. Hey, Rashida, morning. Yeah, looks like you made it here today too. So we got 30 seconds right here. I'll be watching for it here to close, and then I'll be looking for a possible entry here. Getting some bullish push here, but I'm gonna look for it to maybe turn around. So we got about 20 seconds left here. So we got, let's see, we got 5 seconds here. Four, three, two, and one.
Order submitted. Or
So let's see what we got here. Short position is right. I have to zoom in a little bit for this one.
order filled.
So whether this position hits or not, I'm taking trades based on probability. I'm looking to get maybe into two entries for today. So if this one doesn't work and it stops me out, I'll be trying to get back in again later around like 750, 751. Or no, actually, target entry is gonna be a little later, closer to 8. So we'll see what happens here. We do have some bullish push here. So like, I don't know if this here is going to hold for the reversal, but we'll see what happens here. There's a couple different target entries here. So there's one at 6 o'clock, which is, obviously there's a couple here at 6 o'clock, one for 2040, one for 2550, one for 3060. So it's kind of like it varies a little bit. Basically what we're anticipating here is a possible reversal back to the downside. But there's no guarantees with the entries here. We do have a high probability of it working out. It's about 81.3%. So I'm gonna let the trade run. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We're taking trades here based off probability. There's no way to be 100% about the trade, but obviously I'm gonna take the odds here if the odds are in my favor, which obviously they are pretty good right here. So let me see if my parameters here are proper. So my stop loss is supposed to be at 47.64. Let's drop this down by a point. And my target's supposed to be at 47.04. Drop this down a point. Okay, so parameters are set up. Now we just let the trade run. So again, like I said, whether this trade hits or not, I did my job here to do my due diligence. I did my research on the previous historical data here. Historical data shows that it pretty much wins every Tuesday for the most part. Again, right here. So let's just look back at the historical data. So the last Tuesday was September 30th. You can see over here it won. The Tuesday before that was September 23rd. It also won right here. The Tuesday before that was September 16th, which it also won right here. So with that being said, it shows that it pretty much won every Tuesday for the past month. Um, and it identified the reversal. Price here is now starting to come back down, which is great. So looking at the data over here, guys, you can see over here that the pattern that my algo is looking to identify is it's looking for a reversal right here. And then when it comes down to 620, continuation even lower. So, this could be another possible entry. I was actually looking for another one right here. That, the target entry was 6 o'clock and there's another one at 6:01. So you could have gotten in right there. And there was another entry that could have been taken like literally right here, a little bit higher. So 40.20 right there. The trade's back in profit right here as price continues to come back down. There's basically two trades running alongside each other here. We got the first one right here at 6 o'clock. And then we got the second one right here at 6:01. And then we're looking for continuation down lower right here at 6:20. So we'll see. Just got to let it breathe. Not really do anything here. Price here so what we might get here is we might get some consolidation, some sideways move, and then eventually might start to flip because the criteria here is showing that, prices look likely to reverse from here between 6 and 620, and then 620, it's likely to continue. So I'm looking for reversal here and then continuation down lower at 620. Because that's just what the algo is presenting, right? Presenting the data right here. But again, like I said, there's no way to be 100%. The trade's the trade. So we have a high probability of the trade, but it's not, of course, it's not going to be 100. It's 81.25. Obviously, we're hoping the odds work in our favor, but we'll see. The only thing that I'm a little worried about, and this is why I didn't want to take this show. Initially, I wanted to take this one right here, right? The 621, or no, sorry, the 627. So I wanted to take this one right here at 627. The only problem is that it's going to be right next to market open, right? Market open's going to be right here at 630. So like this just wouldn't work because I'd have 2 minutes to hit my entry. It has a good win ratio. It says a 68.8% win ratio. The uh the only problem with the entry though, like we talked about, is that it's going to hit, you'd have to hold on to the position probably until 630, which is always going to be a little tricky. All right, so price is coming back down, back in profit right here as price continues to drop. So we have some nice space here. Look at this big, I wouldn't say gap, but there's like basically an area here for price to come back down and fill, right? Because price pushed up, it could basically fill this whole area right here. Target area for it to come back down to is going to be right here, right? Because price kind of pushed up, then we're looking for the correction back down for the retest down here. So let's see what we got. It's a pretty tight position. My stop loss was at 20, so kept the risk pretty tight, 40-20 on this one. But yeah, we do have a target right here if price is likely to come down lower. Let's go to our main chart now. So let's see if I could go over here real quick. Okay, so yeah, here's my entry. It's currently running on this one. You can see I'm slightly in profit. See, the entry was at the 601. Oops. But yeah, the market here is pretty much flat for the most part. What I'll do right here is, as we wait, here's like the tricky thing. We're trading against momentum, so we're going against the direction of market. The market structure right now is overall bullish. So that's kind of the tricky thing here because we're going against pretty much bias, right? Majority of people are looking to take bias here. We're taking the sell here, so we're trying to ride this back down lower. Um, so it is kind of tricky because we're counter trend trading right now against the trend. So the overall market structure on the 1, 5, 15, 30, 1 hour, 4 hour is all bullish. If you look over here at the overall trend, it's bullish here on pretty much the lower and the higher time frames as well. So the 1 minute's bullish, 5 minutes bullish, 15 minutes bullish. You can see prices above the pivots, trend meters green, pivots are angling up. Same with the higher time frames, 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour. So this is where it kind of goes against like what we typically go for, right? We typically want to go in the direction of overall market structure and overall bias, but for this specific entry, we're identifying possible reversal down, and that's why I took it to the downside right here, of course, because that's just what the algo is pretty much presenting to us, and we're looking for a short-term drop to the downside, right? Just not any. We're not expecting this to like, you know, go through the floor. We're expecting it just to be some sort of retracement at least. You can see our price is kind of just going back and forth. We're back in profit again. It's kind of just sitting here. We actually like this. So what I like to see here is I do like this consolidation because this consolidation is indicating that there's probably going to be a breakout back down. And that's what we want, right? We basically got into the breakout a little bit early in a sense, and we're looking for this here to flip back down. I'm not touching the position. I'm just letting the position run. I'm just hoping that we get out of this position before 630. If we get too close to 630, which is going to be right here, I'm probably going to pull the position. Ideally, probably going to pull the position because I don't want to hold on to it into market manipulation here. Obviously price gets manipulated at 630. Let me check the calendar real quick to see if there's news. Um, I don't think you guys can see my chart, or you guys can't see my screen. Let me share my entire screen here. There we go. Yeah, it's Longi said it's luring in buyers, it seems. Rashid is asking for the TP. Yes, the TP is at 47,004. Hey, Chris, morning. Let's see. Cool. Cool. So Sam's also in it with us. Jonathan says it took him out. Did you get in a little too early, Jonathan? I'm assuming you did because the there's still some space there for the traded breathe. Blanco said he's on the 10 minute and I'm seeing the day will turn bearish, but I got to wait. Just seems like my entry going to be together with 930. And those are chaos. Yeah, exactly. That's the last thing I want to do. I don't want to hold on to the position until 6:30 here or 9:30 your time Eastern because obviously, market manipulation is going to be crazy. It always is crazy at open. So I typically don't like to trade the open. I mean, we'll look for the opening breakout as well. Hopefully it's going to be for a sell, so it'll hopefully break out in our direction. But again, it's 6:10 right now, guys. So we're getting closer and closer to 6:30 right here. If we get too close to 6:30 and price doesn't hit my target, I'm just going to pull out early. I'll pull out early for partial profit, partial loss, whatever it may be. But all right, we got market here going sideways, not really too much going on. There's like no volatility here. What I can start to see here though is that price is starting to squeeze. It looks like a descending triangle, right? So, what we might get right here is a descending triangle, right? So like price squeezes through the descending triangle, break, retest, and continue lower. What I'm hoping for, or what I'm waiting for is I'm still waiting for this here to hold until 6:20. I'm hoping we get a sell signal before 6:20 because if we get a sell signal right here, my analysis is gonna line up perfect. So like basically right here we have the reversal. Then at 6:20 we have a continuation of momentum, and then at open maybe a swing back up. That's kind of what I see happening right here. It's basically like a head and shoulders, right? So we got the shoulder, we got the head, we got the shoulder, and then reversal back up. It's just very slow right now. So trade's currently in profit a couple points, as you guys can see right there. There we go. Perfect. We love this right here. This is what we're looking for. That's exactly what I just said, right? I'm looking for that sell signal. That sell signal is going to be our momentum to the downside. I'm in profit about 300 right now. 6 points. I'm not going to adjust my target today. I'm just going to go for the 40. And there's no need. There we go. We want that sell signal to come up. There we go, back in profit. It's doing the ascending triangle that I just mentioned. So basically, I'm looking for price to break out of this chop or the squeeze, continue into this the 620 candle right here, and then drop lower. So we want that sell signal to come up, right? That's ideally. See, we have a pending sell signal right here. We want that sell signal to come up before 620. Because if that's the case, you can, I mean, if you want to double up on your position, it's kind of line up with my algo over here. We identify the reversal. Then after the reversal at 6 o'clock, we're looking for continuation at 620. And then with that, another continuation from 627 up until market open. So I'm expecting this to drop up until 630. So if you guys are in a sell, I mean, it's looking good right now so far. The data shows that this has been the pattern for the past month, basically for the past 16 trading days. Let's see. Jonathan said yes, he entered right away. That's weird. I'm not sure how you got stopped out, Jonathan, unless your stop loss wasn't right, because there's a lot of space right here, right? Like there shouldn't have been any reason you got stopped out of the position there. So basically, yeah, if you had a 20-point stop loss right there, you should have had a cushion of about 10, 12 points above. What was your entry price? Because your entry price should have been close to like what we got into. We got in right here at 47,044. Should have been the entry price for you, unless you got in like, I mean, I don't think the slippage should have been that bad. All right, so again, we have a pending sell signal there. It's 6:14 right now, so we got 6 minutes until 6:20. So we want the sell signal to come up before 6:20. We got some time. So right there, we got price pushing down. Entry's looking beautiful right now. On our way halfway to target. In profit about 600 right now in this account. 700, 12 points in profit, and I'll continue to follow here. I'm letting the trade run to 40. I'm not going to trail it down. Typically, I try to trail it down like because I can technically turn this trade from a 1 to 2 to a 1 to 3 or 1 to 4. If you guys want to trail it, I mean, feel free. There's higher targets right here. So technically, you can go up to 60 if you wanted to. Here, I'll do this. I'll do what we did yesterday. I'll mark this up right there. That's gonna be the 40. I just don't want to be too close to market open, like hold on to it for too long. And then this one right here. There we go. Beautiful trade right there, guys. Starting to come down right now. Okay, so where's my thing at? So we got the 40 points right here. Okay, perfect. We got the sell signal. That's exactly what we wanted. We got the sell signal right there. We might get some consolidation here, which is completely fine. But the good thing is that we got that sell signal. So my whole analysis that we just talked about right now, it's lining up exactly what we talked about. So the 6 o'clock was the reversal, 6:20 is the continuation, and then 6:30 is the market open. All right, so depending on where you guys want to get out, I'm getting out at the 40 right here. That's the original target, but you can see over here my algo, it provides opportunity to get out at the 50 or the 60. I'm just not going to risk it because we're getting too close to market open. If we get again, if we're too close to it, then I'm going to pull out prior to market open. So no matter where I'm at in profit, I'll just pull out. Gosh, okay, so Jonathan re-entered. Nice work, Jonathan. Yeah, it's probably because CFD you might have gotten in at different price. Pricing might have been a bit off. Because I think CFDs are off by like maybe a couple, like 100, 200 points. Usually it's like 200 points or so. I see Sam said 46.92, lots of wicks, lots of wicks of liquidity. Yeah, definitely. Navy said, did you get in at the close of the nine? I got in at the close of the nine, but you could have gotten in at either one, the close of the nine or the close of the 901, Navy, because there was two opportunities here that my algo provided. There's one right here at 6 o'clock, and there's one at 6:01. There's two of them. So it just depends on like which one you decided to get into. Okay, so I think price here might kind of go sideways for a little bit. The one thing that we don't want to happen here is we don't want to buy signal to come up, right? You want to sell signal to hold momentum to the downside. Because the thing is at 6:20, we don't want these trades to go opposite of each other, right? We don't want the 6 o'clock to be a sell, and right there we have a pending buy signal. This is where it's going to get a little tricky if the buy signal comes up, because these things are gonna, if that's the case, then these trades technically are going to be going against each other, and we don't want them to go against each other. We want them to be going the same direction. So we'll see. I mean, regardless of the fact I'm still holding on to the position, it's not making a difference. I'm going to hold it. Um, but ideally, I want these trades to align with each other, right? I want them both to align in the same direction for both the 6 o'clock and the 6:20 for my algo. All right, looks like it's just faking out a little bit. I think what's happening right here is they're trying to lure in some more buyers. They're pushing price up a little bit to make it seem like price is going to correct back up, but it's really just coming back down further. Um, this is the downside of taking trades pre-market is that the volatility is so low, right? The volatility is so low that we tend to get stuck in this position where it just kind of goes choppy for a bit. Eventually, it's supposed to break out in a direction, but so I did look back at the previous entries. Let me show you guys the previous entries for this specific strategy, or not strategy, but this specific time. That this does show that it does chop up a little bit. So let's look back at yesterday's entry. So yesterday's entry over here, it hit, but you can see over here it chopped up a bit, right? It didn't hit until like 6:15. So it chopped up for a bit and then eventually it hit. So this was a buy position from yesterday. This is the one that we took. Yesterday was actually a lot smoother than today. Today is not as smooth as it was yesterday. So here's the entry from 2 days ago on Friday. So on Friday, you can see this is the entry for a sell. It kind of chopped up for quite a bit, and then it didn't hit target until like 6:30. That's what I don't want. I don't want it to chop up for too long. If we get too close to 6:30, I'm just going to pull the position. And this is just me showing you the historical data of this trade. So again, right here, same thing. Or this one had more volatility. This was on Thursday, October 2nd. Price was choppy for a bit, but eventually did hit here on 619. So around that period right now for our specific trade. Let's go to the one before that. Yeah, you guys can see it. This is what I don't like about the pre-market. See, it's pretty much choppy every single time the entry comes up. Like it's choppy, but eventually it hits. This one over here hit at 628. So it came a little closer to market open. Market open right here at 630, but the target hit right here at 628. It's currently 620 right now, so we still got about like nine to 10 minutes until market open. So I'm hoping we get that drop. Looks like it's dropping back down right now. It's currently back in profit right there. Or I mean, it's been in profit this whole time. I'm just hoping this thing will start to dump. Like I'm hoping that this thing will start to finally dump lower because I need to get out of this position before 630. So I'm in profit about 520 right now. It's about 13 points in profit. I'm looking for this to dump lower and lower and lower to get to our target. Again, if it doesn't get to that point by 630, I'm just gonna pull out of the position. 630 is gonna be right here. We're inching pretty close to it. But yeah, I mean, I was just showing you guys the previous data of like how this trade typically moves. It does kind of consolidate for a bit because it is pre-market and there's not enough volatility. There's also no news today, so that's another thing. And also the government shutdown, right? There's just not a lot of criteria or a catalyst behind these moves pre-market to really push price. So what happens is the trade just ends up staying in limbo for a while. I mean, we're still in profit, but it is in limbo. Okay, so the 621 candle is currently there's now another wait, where is that? 620. There's a couple entries here. So there's a 620 candle, which is with momentum. So I mean, there's a lot of trades here running alongside each other. There's one right there. That is 620 for a 4080. And then there's another one right here that's right now. I mean, I wouldn't take that. It's way too far of a move. And then there's another one right here, which is at 601. Or no, actually, okay, so these are actually no, these are right. It's supposed to be with momentum. So this is going to be down here. It's a really, really big move. I mean, this might hit on open, but it's not going to hit right now. And then there's another one right here at 621. I'm not going to mark these up because it's just or actually I guess I could just so we can have an idea of like where price is running to. 621 is going to be right here. It's a 45.90. These are like really, really big moves, which are probably going to hit close into market open. But all right, we got a little bit of a messy chart here because there's just there's so many entries running alongside each other. The good thing here is that all the entries are pointing towards a sell. So we got this one over here and we got this one over here. These trades are probably gonna run for a while. And then we have our active position, which is still running. Like I said, as we get closer to 630, guys, I might just have to pull for a partial profit. I don't want to hold on to it until market open. Let's check the calendar for the news. There's no, I mean, there's like medium impact news here pre-market. There's import exports, or actually, there's not even any news. They took it off. There was import exports, but because of the government shutdown, they took out all the news. There's just no news today. Again, because of the government shutdown. So pretty much everything that's scheduled for this week. I think this is CPI week, I believe. It's inflation week. Yeah, it's inflation week, but they're not reporting CPI or PPI because of the government shutdown. It's a weird time right now. It's a weird time because all the news, like all the economic news are pretty much on pause. Like last Friday, we didn't have NFP. I don't think I've ever traded where there's no NFP. Usually the government shutdown's resolved by then, but there's no NFP, there's no CPI, there's no PPI. There's Fed minutes, which is unusual, but there's none of the typical news that we usually anticipate and look for. Because today, I mean, I just refreshed my chart, but there was news that was listed here. So right here, I mean, it doesn't list anymore because I refreshed it, but Yeah, so you can see over here, U.S. government data may be impacted by the shutdown. Tentative events are subject to delay, revision, or cancellation. Basically, there's no news that's supposed to be scheduled. Everything that was supposed to be scheduled is either canceled, revised, or delayed. All right, so our position is back. I mean, it's been in profit this whole time. It's not back in profit. It's been in profit. It's currently running right now. You can see my active position right here. I'm in profit about almost 500. We're getting close to 6 o'clock, guys. 6:25 right now. I don't know if this is going to dump within the next 5 minutes. So if it doesn't, I'm hoping it does. It looks like it is now. Like it's looking good as it comes down. But either way, I'm gonna close it out before 6 o'clock, 6:30. In profit 800 right now. In profit about 22 points. Let's go. Few points are right there. We're halfway to our target or more than halfway. Trying to get to that 40 right there. But again, market opens right here at 6:30, so I'm probably gonna have to pull out pretty soon. I'm hoping we're getting this nice volatility push to the downside. Perfect. There we go. Come on. I got a few minutes to get out of this position. 1,040 in profit right here. This is my floating profit. This is just one account. All right, let's go. Come on. Almost down there. Let's get that volatility to the downside. Yeah, Rashida said, I think it'll hit on open. I know. I'm hoping it hits before open, but yeah, I agree with Rashida. I do think it's gonna come down on open. I just don't want to hold on to it until open. I want to get out before then. I'm in profit 20 points halfway there. Okay, so if this doesn't hit within the next couple minutes, I'm just gonna pull out because I don't want to get caught in that pre-market and market open manipulation, of course. In profit 17 points right now. Come on, I got a minute. I got 2 minutes here to make the decision. Targets at 47,004 in profit. It's dropping down lower, currently 21 points. I'd be happy with like 30. Like, come on, drop me down at least at 30. 22 points in profit. Let's go volatility. Let's keep this dropping lower. All right, a few minutes here. Blanco. Yeah, no, almost there. All right, so let's see. Starting to get that pre-market manipulation that's starting to start up right now. All right, we're getting a little too close. I might have to pull out of this pretty soon. Yeah, we got a minute in. So let's see. All right, I'm gonna move my target up here. I'm gonna try to just get out of this. I got a minute, so to manually close it in a second, but let me see if I could just get out right here if it comes down just a few more points. Yeah, I gotta get out. All right, get me out. I'm out, guys. Slight profit on that trade. Oh man, I was cutting it close. Cutting
Target
it.
filled.
Target filled. I'm out. Gotta get out. If you guys want to hold on to it, feel free, but I gotta get out. I'm not holding this until open. This is probably gonna spike down to target, but I'm not gonna take that risk. Let's go. If you guys are holding on to it, I'm rooting for you guys. See that? I think this thing will probably come down. It'll probably spike right to target and then boom, right back up. But the analysis here played out perfect. You know, the reversal happened. There just wasn't enough volatility for it to push it all the way down. All right, we got 5 seconds till market open. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see if this thing dumps down. I think it's gonna dump down. Okay, so 6 o'clock or 6:30 market is now open. Oh man, look at that. Yeah. See, I did not want to be caught in this right here. Manipulation galore right there. So price manipulated to the upside. I mean, it's still in profit, but that big spike right there would have made my heart drop. Because we were in profit right here. It spiked up like 20, 30 points. So we'll keep following it. I think this is going to hit. I mean, it looks good. There we go. There we go. There we go. Let's go, Rashida. Let's get your target there. Full TP right there. Nice. All right. So, like I said, uh, entry over here hit perfect. Full TP right there. Beautiful entry right there. So let me just clean this up a little bit, bring this back to 40. But you take a risk. If you're going to hold on to the position for that long, you take a risk. But it did hit 40 points right there, full TP on two entries here. So we're currently at 4R right now, depending on if you held on to the position. There's a couple other positions that are currently running. So this has been on fire. The 6 o'clock entry, we were at 81.25% win ratio. It's probably gonna be closer to like 82, 83, 84%. So very, very nice wins right there for that. I'm gonna clean this up a little bit because these are like some crazy big moves. Um, and I'm just gonna clean this up as much as I can. So two entries right here which came up. They both hit target. They obviously you'd have to hold it till open, but they both hit target right there. I wish there was an ability to strike through here, but okay. So I'll put these 6 o'clock ones obviously hit and the 601. I'll just put them in italices. You can't even tell. Yeah, I wish there was a way to like strike through so we can document these as they go through. But basically all these entries right here between 6 and 601, all full TP. Those are all winners. And you can see right there. So this is my short position, which is right here. And there was the target right there. So short entry right here, short exit right there, full TP for 40 points. Great position right there. So let me go and put this over here real quick. Today's momentum algo entries. So we got the 6 o'clock AM, which was a win plus 2R. 6:01 AM, win plus 2R. So we're currently up 4R right now. Two wins plus 4R. Not bad. Not bad for pre-market, right? All right, so the next entry is going to be at let's see. Next entry is going to be later over here at 7:51. It's a pretty, we have a couple hour, like an hour until then. So we don't have any entries until 7:51. I'll try to do an analysis of this. If it looks good, I'll take it. If it doesn't look good, then I'm not going to take it. So I have the data over here. It shows that it's a decent entry, but it loses most Tuesdays. So kind of depending on where market structure is, ideally, I'd probably want to look for a buy. But I mean, we'll kind of see. It's supposed to be with momentum, so I want to go with the direction of the trend and with the direction of market structure, but don't necessarily need to have that there specifically. But yeah, guys, so great entry right there for pre-market, and we are currently at a 4R for the day. Two back-to-back wins, depending on which entry you guys decided to take. I only took one of them, so I'm up basically partial R because I pulled out right here. Um, but yeah, heavy. EJ said got out second before open for 20. Damn, EJ, that would have been nice, bro. I mean, it's all good. You took half profit on that. So nice work, guys, for all the profits right there. Sam got some profits right there as well. Maxwell Morning. Blanco said freaking 930, cool minus 100. I mean, for the next entry today. I know it's a gamble. If you guys hold the position until 6:30, I mean you're really taking a gamble on that, right? Because that can easily hit your target, it can easily hit your stop loss. My bad, guys. I didn't look at the breakout for today, but the breakout it's looking like it was a let's go on the 10 minute real quick. So the breakout for the 10 minute was let's take an all load. Okay, it was a buy. So if you guys take the breakout right here for the 10 minute, I think Talanji, and that's one that you typically like to take. Um, I think you like the 40/80, right? That's like the one with the highest win percentage. 80 points right there for the breakout. So, all right, a lot of positions here filled so far. There goes the breakout right there. I think my parameters here. I'll leave the parameters at 40/20. Oh, we already got it. I mean 40/80. So we already got it set up right there. We'll do the 10-minute, of course, with momentum. And we'll just follow it, right? We'll just follow and see what's good. We'll follow and see what's good here, and then I mean, what we found with the open breakout is like typically the 10-minute momentum usually works out the best. Blanco said, Ayo, they heard me saying down and made a call. Which one y'all bought? I know. Yeah, Blanco. I mean, I always feel like that, right? Someone's listening. Someone's listening or someone's watching. All right. So I'll let this load up. This is going to be the open breakout. Um, I'll just take a screenshot of the chart here so that we have the statistics. Oh, and I'll take a screenshot of my profits. I didn't make a lot on that last. I mean, I made good. I would have made a lot more if I would have just pulled out at the 20, but it's all good. Profit's profit. I can't complain. I wish I would have hit that 40 though. I mean, that 40 would have been nice. Doing pretty good for the week though, so nothing to fret about. All right, well, I don't have any entries till like 7:50, so we're gonna be chilling for a good hour, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hop in the chat. I'll kind of like run the data over here to kind of see, just do the last 90 days. I'm gonna do a whole year. It's gonna take forever. Uh, so you can see my algo is currently running right here. It's running all the data for this specific entry off the 10-minute. My algo over here is also running. I'll try to update my algo as price moves along. Once we hit 7 o'clock, I'll adjust the times here. It's currently providing times for between 6 and 9. But once we hit 7 o'clock, I'm going to update my algo here. I'll just change the times. So instead of going from 6 to 9, we'll look at 7 to 9. Just to let my algo run a little bit faster. It's running obviously kind of slow right now because there's just a lot of data for it to run through. Let me check my messages real quick, David. I saw you messaged me. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so you got it. Yeah, so David just signed up for the tools. If you guys want these indicators, guys, the indicators are still available to you. Like if you want to just take these trades on your own, like for example, I get off the live session at 8 o'clock, right? I give you a list of all the trades here. If you want to keep trading after 8 o'clock, because I have a couple entries here that are lined up. There's actually a couple good ones here. There's 8:54, and this trade ran yesterday too. So that one ran yesterday for a full TP. You can see right here. I was off the live session, but this one did come up, hit full TP. David was going to take it, but he just didn't know which direction to take it in. So what David did is he just signed up for the indicators to get these momentum indicators so he knows which direction to trade it. And he's going to be trading basically outside the session. I post all the entries here the previous night. So I posted all these entries last night. Right here at 6 o'clock, this is the one that we took. We had an 81.3% win ratio. That's why I took it. Very high win ratio. This was my target entry. And then also this one at 6:01. So I post these entries every single night so that we're prepared for the next day. So I already knew this was gonna be my entry last night. I posted this last night at 10:07. So I woke up this morning, 5 o'clock. I was like, okay, take this trade at 6, and we took it and it hit. So we've been on a pretty nice win streak so far for the or I'll try to update my trader sync real quick. Kind of takes a long time for it to update. See if it updates my positions. But anyways, let me post this breakout real quick. So this is a 40 point or 80 point move for the breakout. And then we had this one over here. I'll just drop this down a little bit. And we're currently at 8R on this, or 4R on this one. So there was two entries on this one. They're both for 40. So technically today, if you took every entry, guys, there's or I'll put this over here as well. So the 6:30 time as well. I forgot to add that to here. So 6:30 a.m. It was a win for plus 2R for the breakout on open, which is this one right here. It's for 80 points. It's still a 2R multiple. I'm not going to put a 4R, but it lines up that way. Um, Damn, I always have a connection issue here. There we go.
Connection lost.
Connection lost. Of course. Of course, there's a connection loss. And I'll take a screenshot of my profits. I didn't make a lot because I had to do the partial, but still profits nonetheless. Next entry is going to be here at 751. So we got some time. My algo just didn't provide any entries between this period, like no good entries. There's entries that are available here, but they're just not good entries. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Here, I can just run my algo right now. Let's run the algo between six and between 6 and 7 o'clock. So I'm just changing the time here so that you guys can see all the entries. I'm updating my algo real time. So you guys can see over here, once I click OK, it's going to, and I'm going to update the report. It's going to give me all of the top entries between 6 and 7 o'clock right here. You'll see it's going to update. Okay, so the top entries right now, you can see it's at 6 o'clock. We took that entry. It had a 76% win ratio, but it jumped up to like 82 because of the two wins from the previous days. Um, the next one was at 6:01. So the top two entries between 6 and 7 are right here. My algo pretty much told us that. That's why I took the trade there at 6 o'clock. There's another one here at 6:30. This one also hit, I think. It went against, so opposite of momentum. And then there's another entry right here at 6:27, which we all have all of these trades already listed right here. So 6 o'clock, 6:01, 6:30 is not listed on here, but 6:27 is right there as well. They're all listed as the top trades between 6 o'clock and 7. So we're gonna hit 7 pretty soon. So I'm just gonna update this again. I'll change this to 9 and I'll change this to 11. So I'm gonna look at all the top entries between 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock. And you guys can see here, like this is how powerful my algo is because it's very spot on in letting us know exactly when and where the positions are hitting. So the next entry that I'm looking to take is going to be right here at 751. I'll just update this over here so that you guys can see. So next entry is going to be at 751. I'm going to update this. $7.51, which is going to be $9.51. I'm just going to look at the stats here. I'm going to show you guys how I test these entries and I look at the historical data so that you guys can see like if it's a good entry, if it's an okay entry, if it's a bad entry, there's a lot of different criteria that I look at. The main criteria I look at, so step one is identify. Here, I'll put my little sticky note over here so you guys can see what I look for. So I identify all entries with a 60% probability. It has to be higher than a 60%. Anything below that's not worth my time. I want to take something that I know for sure is going to hit. Next is identify. So first I identify all the entries above 60%, right? And then next I identify all entries above 65%. So I want only the best entries. And then next I look at historical data to see if the trade works on the specific day. So today's Tuesday. I look to see if the trade hits on Tuesday. And then I identify risk trading near news and open. So it's pretty simple. I mean, straightforward step-by-step process right there. That's how I'm able to filter out my trades. Because there's a lot of trades here. So here's my list of trades. There's a ton of trades here, right? So you can see the ones in bold. Those are the ones that I'm actually looking to take. The ones in the ones that are just regular, not bolded, those are just trades that are going to be in confluence with my trade, but the ones that I'm actually looking to get into are going to be the ones that are bolded. And I also put notes on them: target entry, decent entry, close to market, open manipulation. There's an entry right here at 752, decent entry, but it loses on most Tuesdays. So it's a good entry, but it loses on most Tuesdays. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to lose this Tuesday, but from my historical, I look at the historical trades, it shows that it does lose on some Tuesdays. So obviously, I'm be a little careful when it comes down to it. So I'll pull up that data. Let's see. I'll change it right here. So that trade is going to be over here at 751. It's with momentum, so I change this back to with. And then look how this number changes. Right here, if you're going against momentum, so if you're trading opposite, it's going to have a 18% probability of it winning. Now let's update it to with momentum. And look how this number here changes. It's updating the report. And then here goes my algo. It shows that it has a 62.50% possibility or probability of it hitting. This is out of 16 trading days, so about 2 to 3 weeks. 10 out of the 16 trading days, it hit target. So if I want to look at the list of trades here, I can look down. The most recent, let's see, the most recent Tuesday is September 30th. You can see here it lost last Tuesday, so maybe this is like a tricky trade to take. The Tuesday before that is the 23rd. You can see on the 23rd, it also lost. On the 16th over here, it also lost. So you can see over here, it loses pretty much every Tuesday, right? It wins other days, but it loses on Tuesday. So what do you think I'm going to do with this trade here at 751? I'm probably not going to take this trade because the historical data shows that it loses on Tuesdays. So there's no point in taking it. Like, why would if it lost every Tuesday for the past month, what are the odds of it hitting this Tuesday? Probably not, right? I'll follow it, but I'm not going to take it. And that's why our trades here are so accurate because I use that step-by-step process to make sure that the trades are I'm only taking the absolute best trades, right? There's a lot of trades and there's a lot of different opportunities out there, but I'm only taking the absolute best trades. Barack said back to open, risky Ricky. All right, Barack, I'll see you back here. See you back here tomorrow. Looks like Barack's done. So yeah, we went back to open right here. Price pretty much shot up and then came right back to open. So I'll clean this up a little bit. Again, this was the entry we took earlier. And we got price coming back down. Again, I don't have any entries until a little later. My algo is not providing any opportunities for entry until 751. So it's kind of hanging tight for a little bit. But overall, the positions here played out pretty good. If you guys are just joining in, we're currently at a 6R right now. We had two entries come up right here at 6 o'clock and then 6:01. And then we had the breakout over here hit full TP right there for 80 points as well. You can see the long positioning right here. Exit was right there. Probably an earlier entry here based off the stats. I got to change the data. That's why the data's wrong. Let me see if this fixes it. Yeah, it's a little too early right there. I change it to 629. But okay, so with that being said, let me go over here and post my profits real quick. See if my trader sync is loaded up. Okay, so here are my profits for the day so far. Let's go to my Discord. So these are my accounts. I have two of them, of course. Here, this is my first set of accounts right here. And then here are my second set of accounts right here. So, I mean, not too bad. I locked in pretty good profit off that trade over here. I obviously had to pull out before market opened up, but I pulled it for partial. These should have been so these right here, the smaller accounts, they should have been closer to 1,000 profit if I let it run to full TP, and then these over here should have been closer to like 1,500 to 2,000. But I'm doing pretty good overall for the week and for the day, so I really have nothing to complain about. I'm good with this for the day. We're currently on a win streak, so it's nice. Let me check my trader sync to make sure it's uploaded. All right, cool. Synced all my accounts. Um, what's today, the 7th? Okay, my trader sync still hasn't updated. I kind of hate how traders think they keep updating the platform, and for whatever reason, it just takes, unless I'm doing something wrong. Today's the 7th. It just doesn't show any trades for the 7th, which it should. Maybe it's just lagging. All right, let's see. Question from Blanco. Blanco said, wouldn't you create something such as like an anti-algo trade? So if it's saying lose most Tuesdays, that's data in itself to trade the opposite. Yeah, yeah, no, 100%. Block. But here's the thing. Just because it loses every Tuesday doesn't mean it's going to lose this Tuesday, right? That's why like I wouldn't trade against it because I would go against the main algo. So yeah, you can trade opposite if you wanted to take a trade every single day. The key thing with like being consistently profitable is not really trading every day, right? It's really about taking the best possible entries. So although like the opposite entry is available, it doesn't mean that the probabilities for the opposite trade is actually high, right? Like you're kind of just taking a gamble at that point. So yeah, when it comes down to it, I'm not going to take that gamble. But if you do want to take that trade, it's there for you. So yeah, I get what you're saying though, because before I used to do that, exactly what you were saying, right? I would take the breakout. Like sometimes I would look at the breakout and I would say, okay, if this trade tends to lose at a certain time period, and here's the setup right here. Um, if it loses every Tuesday for the breakout on open, then I would do the opposite. The problem is that would kind of screw me over because I would take a trade every day, and then instead of just avoiding a loss, I would take two losses. So, yeah, for me, I just want to stick to the high probable trades. You're not wrong though, because it does work. It's just, if you go into like some heavy, like say for example, if you lose like a couple days back to back, that's going to eat into your drawdown, right? So for me, I'd rather just not have any drawdown and just be clear trades and just wait for the next best entry. Yeah, but I've done that before. I mean, that's you're spot on with your analysis and your curiosity of to like, maybe I should just take the opposite. But sometimes the opposite doesn't work. So I typically don't like to do that. Anyways, here's my I'm trying to update my TraderSync, guys. It's just not updating. So here's my calendar right now. For the month of October right now, I've taken all these trades live with you here. I'm currently up 212,575 for October. It's been a really, really good month for us. We have win over here on the 30th, Tuesday and Monday as well. So if I go to September, this is my red month for September. It was like kind of a choppy month, but we have some profit right here. We've been on a win streak basically. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. A 8-day trading win streak for green days so far. And then here are my stats for the year so far. I'm currently up 831,500, or sorry, 831,445. You can see I took a little bit of a slump here. This is normal for trading, right? You're going to have a slump sometimes. So in September, I had kind of a bad month. And then I made it right back the following week. So all of September, I lowered my risk, had a couple losses there, and then I made it all the way back right here for October. I'm currently at a 65% win ratio, 64% win ratio for the year. So it's pretty good. Um, Overall, my profit factor is kind of picking up a little bit. I was doing a 1-to-1 earlier in the year, so it's like about 1.58. It should be closer to 2 now because we've been doing a 1-to-2 pretty much every day for the past, couple months. So I'm gonna wait for this to update. I'm still trying to update the 7th. I'm just curious to see how much profit I made. Um, yeah, how much profit I made for the day. I don't really want to add this up, but these are my stats here. I mean, you can kind of eyeball it. It's a couple $1,000 profit for the day. Let me go over here real quick. So here's a thing, guys. If you guys are interested in participating in the Cody Kai Capital Hedge Fund. Basically, the way that it would work, we're going to be onboarding pretty soon. But if you guys are interested, basically, if you want one of these accounts to be yours, like basically what it does is if you sign up for the hedge fund, you'll give me your NinjaTrader broker details for your personal account. I link your account to mine. So this is my main account right here. I'm up about 2,000 for the week. Basically whatever my main account does, all the accounts copy, right? They do exactly what my account does. So you can see all the profits here are pretty much the same, 410, 150, just depending on the account size. If you want me to add your account to my list here, and you basically just get automatic trades sent to your account, um, that will be available to you hopefully within the next couple weeks. My application for the hedge fund and for my individual is currently pending with the National Futures Association. I just had to send in my fingerprint, so they're getting my fingerprints and then they're gonna send it to the FBI to do a background check on me just to make sure I don't have any like financial crimes that I've done in the past, like embezzlement or something like that. But yeah, once the fingerprints are processed, the hedge fund will reopen and I can add you guys to my copier. It's just a flat rate fee, so it's actually I've calculated basically that your service fee is gonna basically be one trade. So for example, if you're trading one contract, right? So say for example, what we're gonna do it by 60 points because that's gonna be the average. We typically take trades between 40 point target, 80 point target. So if you do one contract times five times 60, you basically pay a service fee of like 300 bucks, but then you get to keep all of your profit. So like for example, this is how much profit we have for the week. If I was to make you like a 2,000 bucks for the week so far, at the end of the month or at the beginning of the month, you're only going to pay 300. So you pay 300 and you keep the total amount of profit. I think for this month so far, we're currently, I mean, on average, everyone's up about like 2 to 3,000. So you'd be up like 10x and then you're only paying 300 for the service to be added to the copier, which is, I mean, it's a good deal. Before I was charging a percentage, right? So before for the hedge fund, the percentage would be 50-50. So like, for example, if you made 3,000 for the month, you basically would have to pay me half of that, which would be 1,500. So that's a big difference, right? You're only paying 300 now versus 1,500. Just making it accessible to everybody. And it helps with your taxes too. So when you pay taxes at the end of the year, you get to keep most of the profit. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that, I'm not really advertising it right now, but to this community here, if you guys want to be, if you want to participate in that specific aspect of trading where you don't have to do anything, I do everything for you. It's all hands free. Um, yeah, reach out to me. A lot of you guys here are already part of the hedge fund, so you know it's nothing new. But to the people who want to participate, uh, just reach out to me and we'll get your information. We'll onboard you pretty soon once everything is processed, and then hopefully for the rest of the month you'll just basically racking in profits with this money printer here, the algo. Because I'm only taking the best trades. I'm only taking the best trades. So, all right. Other than that, let me see if I could update my. And I don't know what's up with this. Let me try to do this again. For some reason, like TraderSync it's been like having issues with updating my positions lately. Let me update this again. Like I don't get this. It keeps saying my credentials are expired. So then how do I fix it? Oh, okay. Well, it worked now. All right. Let me do this again. It's funny. If you guys use TraderSync, it's weird. It whenever it doesn't work, I open up the customer service window, and then as soon as I open up the customer service window, it starts working. It's like it knows. It's like, oh, this client's about to complain. We should make it work. Okay, so my TraderSync is now updating. I'll give you guys an update. Let me see once it's done. So I just refresh this. This is just one trade. It's gonna update the rest of my trades right now. Anyways, guys, back to the charts. About to be 7 o'clock right here. Again, I don't have any entries right here set for 7 o'clock, but if you guys are looking to take something, I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. We don't need markups for this. My algo doesn't require any type of price action, doesn't require any type of technical analysis. It just gives us a direction of momentum. So the next momentum move is going to happen later at 7:51, like I said earlier, but this trade loses almost every Tuesday. So not a trade that I'm looking to take. If you guys want to take it, feel free to take it, but personally not looking to take it myself. Here, let me scroll up real quick and let's see what else we got. I think the orb hit today too. Let's see. The orb actually lost today, it looks like. No, so the orb would have been canceled. If you guys follow my orb entry, basically it hit target already before it filled, so the orb would have been canceled. So no orb entry for the day. Um, Talanji got the MPS V2, nice. So Talanji actually got into the MPS V2's price, came back down. So we had a sell signal right here. Price pushed up for retracement, broke and closed below this right here with this candle, and then the MPS V2 would have came back to the downside right there. So nice work on that too, if you guys caught that. Would have been a really tight entry though, depending on your target. Let's see, Talanji said, what about losing weeks, months in theory? Sorry, Talanji, I saw your question was about like at 6:56. What was the question about? So losing weeks, months. I'm just not sure what you're referring to with the prop firm. So are you talking about like how do I handle like losing weeks and losing months? Okay, yeah. So like what happened right here in September, right? We had a pretty losing month. Like it was a pretty bad month for us overall. What I did here is I started to lower my contract size. So like right here I was already taking a third of my contract size. So we had a couple losses here, and you can see my losses are very small, right? This is with 21 accounts. So 21 accounts right here, and I was only losing like 8,000 total. So let's just do the math real quick. I'll show you. So 8, 9, 25 divided by 21. I was only losing 425 per account. My max loss is 7,500, right? For the big accounts. So that minus 425. See, I have a lot of ability there to lose to take losses. So what happened right here was I just lowered my contract size. When, like for example, I think we were pretty choppy. Yeah, we were pretty choppy from August. Like August, we barely took any trades, and then September we were still choppy. So like by this week, I was like, okay, I'm gonna lower my contract size even more. So you can see my losses here aren't very big. So I was able to stomach the losses. I could take the $400 loss pretty much on these days. And then we picked back up in October, and I was like, okay, I felt really confident with the algo. So I picked back my contract size, and then I recouped all the losses. So I had a couple losses right here, total loss of that much. And then for the first week of October, I made it right back. So I'm not full contract size yet still. Right here, I'm still taking half. So you can see my profits are like, I mean, they're good, but I'm taking half contract sizes and I'm taking one or two trades. That's why there's a lot more trades here, right? Because it's double. So that's kind of how I handle drawdown. Oh, you're talking about, okay. So this isn't a prop firm, Solange, because you said prop firm. I thought you were talking about actual prop firms. This is a hedge fund. So for this here, with losses, so with the service fee is a flat rate. Like every month is a service fee is paid, whether you're in profit or whether you're not. So that's the difference. The difference is, obviously you're anticipating that I'm going to be profitable for the week or for the month or for whatever it may be. You're paying it once a month. Yeah, the service fee is just a service fee per month. So you're taking a risk because you have to pay the service fee regardless. But the thing is, I'm running this algo, so we're not really expecting to lose. We're not expecting to have a losing month, right? Um, so here's I did the numbers over here. So here are the numbers. If you participate in the hedge fund, these are the numbers right here. So basically, for you to be profitable at the end of each week, if we're just doing with a one trade per day, then I only need to win 2 out of the 3 days. So out of 5 trading days, I only need to win 2 days, and you're going to be profitable regardless. Like you're going to be profitable. So like I think you guys can take a bet that I'm going to win 2 days out of the 5 days. Like I could win Monday, Tuesday, and I could lose Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and you'll still be in profit because the trades are 2R versus 1R, right? We're doing a 1 to 2. And then if we're doing 2 trades per day, I just need to win the same thing 2 days out of the 5 days. So, if you use probabilities, and obviously I do everything with probabilities and I do everything with numbers, I try to run off the data. Um, And I'll show you the calendar over here. So basically, if you were participating in the hedge fund, I would just need to win 2 days. So for example, we already won 2 days here, right? So since we won 2 days, if I lose every day for this week, you would still be in profit. I would just need 2 green days, and then I could lose every single day, and you'll still be in profit because we're doing a 1 to 2. The odds are I'm probably not going to have that many red days because the algo here is so powerful, right? The trades that I'll be running are based off the algo, so I'm only taking trades with the highest probability. So you're kind of like I can't guarantee anything because there's no guarantee with trading, but the odds are going to be in your favor because I'm not taking random entries, right? All these entries are based off data. So that is pretty much how it would work. Yeah, it's pretty much it's just a flat rate at the end of each month. Before we used to do a profit split, so it'd be like 50-50 split depending on your account size or 40-20 or whatever it may be. But now we're just doing a flat rate because it's going to be easier. The thing is, I'm going to have so many clients that I can't chase everybody down for that profit split at the end of each month, right? You could only imagine me calling up 100 people like, hey, pay your split or I'm going to take your account off the copier. It's a ton of work on my end. So instead of me having to request profit splits from everybody, I would just I'll just leave it at a flat rate, which makes sense. You guys get to keep more money, and then it just takes the work out of me having to call everybody and requesting a profit split. Because the thing is, I can't when you guys have an account with NinjaTrader, I can't go into your account and take the money out. Like I can't withdraw it to my own account. You'd have to basically wire the money to me. And you guys can imagine how much work that is, right? If I have like 100 people, imagine me calling 100 people every day on November 1st. Like, hey, Talanji, you owe me $3,000. You gotta send me the 3,000. I'm gonna take you off the copier. And then I call Maria next, and I'm like, hey, Maria, you owe me X amount of money. It's a crazy amount of work for me to call everybody. And it's basically like it's like me trusting you that you're gonna pay your split versus just paying up front and then keeping all the profits at the end of each month. Let's see. Maria's asking, will the hedge fund be available to people outside the United States? Yes, Maria, it's available to anybody. You just need to have an account with NinjaTrader, which I'm sure you should be able to get one where you're located. Yeah, you just need a NinjaTrader account so I can add you to my copier. Talon said, do you think we could decide how many accounts will connect to the hedge fund? I mean, you can only have one personal account with NinjaTrader, Talonji. I don't know if you've tried to open it, or you could have multiple accounts actually. You just have to pay the service fee per account. So with NinjaTrader, you can only have one account linked to your Social Security, and then you can have a business account, and you could have like there's a couple different account types. There's like investment accounts, business accounts, trust accounts, and personal accounts. But typically they'd only give you one account. I'm not trading prop firms, so I'm not going to trade any prop firms for you guys. I mean, I technically I could trade a prop firm for you guys, but it's not going to be one of the ones that I personally use. And honestly, I'm probably not going to trade it for you anyways because I'm probably going to be using all the prop firms. So any prop firm that has NinjaTrader, I'm probably going to be using them. So I wouldn't be able to trade prop firms for you guys. It would have to be a personal account. All right, so there's still no entries here. There is no entries here right now. Again, the next entry is going to be at 7:51, so we still got about like 50 minutes until then. Yeah, no problem, Talanji. So price here is kind of just going back and forth. Overall market structure is currently bullish on the higher time frame. So the 30-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour is still very strong bullish. The lower time frames, 1, 5, and 15 are bearish neutral. Looking over here at the overall trend, the 1 minute is currently bearish. Price is below the pivots. The trend meter is red. Pivots are angling down. Same with the 5 minute here. It's currently bearish neutral. 15 minute is currently neutral. 30-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour is still bullish, and we'll see where price ends up going from here. Let's see. PC's asking, what will you be hedging in this hedge fund? You don't have to hedge in the hedge fund. Hedge fund is just the hedge, and hedge fund is just the it's just the name. A hedge fund is just a fund where you can trade multi-strategy, you can trade multi-asset. You don't have to hedge. You don't actually have to hedge. It's not the literal name. Like hedge fund doesn't mean you're hedging. Um, there's a ton of different types of ways that hedge funds operate. Obviously, I'm going to be trading whatever I'm doing here, like whatever I'm doing here that's profitable, which is a momentum-based trading strategy. Basically, what we're doing here, this is a momentum-based or it's a time-based momentum strategy. What we're doing is my algorithm identifies where the best times are for entry, and I'm taking entries where I have the highest probability. So, yeah, Layla, I know. Um, the Yeah, basically whatever I'm doing here, that's what's gonna be executed. I'm not gonna do anything differently. Obviously, I'm gonna do what works and what yields the most amount of profit, right? All of my profits here are from my day trades, so the hedge fund is gonna be operated with the same trades that I've been taking here for my day trades, just on a bigger scale. So, all right, here are my total profits for the day. I'm up 10,105. So these are all my trades finally loaded up on here. This is how much I made for the day across my accounts. Not too bad, right? Like I said, I can't complain. This is a partial profit day, but I'm have green days for the entire. I've been on a win streak basically. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. Total green days right here so far. 7 green days. Here's my overall profits for the year so far. So this is year to date. I have it right here checked off. These are all of my trades taken live here with you guys on the live session from January 2nd up until October 7th, which is today. So I'm up 861,795 total. My net profit is 745,619. My win percentage is closer to 65%. My profit factor is about 1.6. Should be closer to 2 because I'm doing 1 to 2 pretty much for every trade. But this is gonna, keep increasing over time. I'm trying to hit that million goal. So hopefully I get to that 1 mil by the end of the year. I think we could make it. I think for this month, if we keep killing it, and so this is my goal for the month. I want to have green days for the entire month. I've never had that before, and I think that's going to be super exciting to see that. Well, we just got to stick to the high probability, like the trades with the highest probability. But that'd be pretty crazy, right? To see October with everything green here. So I'm going to stick to the highest probability trades. We'll see if that becomes the case. But yeah, I mean it's pretty exciting that this algo here. So the thing is, our trading was already good, right? If you look back at my previous stats, I already had a pretty good strategy. It's just the algo here gives us better confidence with our entries here, right? Like I had pretty good green days. I had a couple red days here and there, right? These are I every trade I've taken for this year has been documented. Literally every trade from January up until today. We had pretty good months, like for the most part. But I've never had a day or a month where it's like all green. So I'm pretty excited to see where this algo takes us for the month of October. Because the main focus here is really going to be on that algo and really the consistency of the profitability that I can make from it. So we'll see. We'll see what goes on over here. Sam said, Sean, you are very inspiring, bro. Yeah, no, definitely, Sam. I feel like this is where everybody should like this should be your end goal. If you guys really like trading, if the trading is really your passion, for me, I left my job as an attorney to be a trader, right? I was getting paid pretty well as an attorney. I was working as a corporate attorney and I was working at a big firm with a nice office overlooking like Newport Beach. Like I traded that to be a trader. Um, a comfy paycheck, like I just get a paycheck every week. I traded my comfy paycheck to like volatility. Some weeks I'm making profits, some months, like for example, I didn't make any profit last month, right? That's kind of scary for a lot of people. Like if you have a red month, that's how are you gonna pay your bills? But the thing is, luckily I've been doing so good for the entire year that I've been able to pretty much stay afloat. I could have a red month and I could still be good. But yeah, if you guys really, really like trading, like you guys have to really, really like trading. This should be your end goal, right? Your end goal should be starting out as a retail trader, moving on to prop firms and making money from prop firms. And then from there, if you get really, really good, then you can start managing other people's money, right? You can create your own fund or your hedge fund or whatever it may be. It's like that saying goes, like if you're really that good at trading, then why aren't you trading other people's money, right? I'm at that point where I'm like, okay, I can cross that bridge. I've been trading consistently for years now that now I can trade people's money and I should launch this hedge fund, which which is in the works. I need to actually call them to see if they have my fingerprints right now. Let me see. I'm gonna do this on the side. So this is the NFA. This is basically you guys know the SEC, right? So the SEC is the Securities Exchange. They oversee the stock market. For futures, it's the NFA. It's the National Futures Association. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna log into my account. I need to make sure that I have everything listed because all they need are my fingerprints. Once they get my fingerprints and they send it to the FBI for background check, um, then the hedge fund is pretty much good to go. I already paid my dues. Man, those dues are expensive. I think I paid over 5,000 in like dues because I got to register the hedge fund, plus I got to register myself. I mean, it's a drop in the bucket. It's a drop in the bucket if you're looking at the long-term perspective of how much money I'm going to make with this hedge fund. So it is what it is. You got to take the risk, you got to pay for certain things, and hopefully it all pans out in the future. All right, let me check my filings here, make sure everything's good. Let's see. So Kodikai Capital. Okay, I paid for that stuff already. I'm gonna have to call them. Yeah, they're just waiting for my fingerprints. Once you get my fingerprints, then I could start onboarding again. Because then now, like once they get my fingerprints, I gotta go talk to the regulators at NinjaTrader and tell them that I'm all good to go so that they can unlock my accounts again. If you guys remember, I was already this hedge fund already started last year, but I got shut down because I needed to register as a professional trader, and then I also had to register the hedge fund, and I also had to take the Series 3, which is the financial exam. The good thing is I passed that exam on the first try, so I'm done with that. Now they just need to do a background check on me, make sure that I'm fit to be a hedge fund manager. All right, there's nothing to take right here, guys. We're getting closer to seven, or we're not actually getting closer to seven, or it's only 7:17. It feels like it's later, but it's only 7:17 right now. The next entry again is going to be at 7:51. I don't think this is going to be a great entry, but kind of depending on where market is at the time, I'll kind of analyze and I'll see if it's gonna. So basically, what I see right here, um, what I see happening right here is the 7:51 entry. Basically, all of the 7 o'clock entries are going to be with momentum, right? So what you want to see here is you want to see price break away from this consolidation, right? If price starts to push to the upside, then I'm expecting momentum to continue. So I'm looking for a possible buy there, right? Vice versa, if this is the case where price, yeah, this is another scenario. So price consolidates, it pushes up, consolidates, and then it pushes down. If this is the case, then I would take the entry for a sell, right? It's going to be with momentum. So you want to identify where momentum is going. Well, my algo here is identifying, and it's really just identifying the direction of price, right? You either want to go with momentum or against momentum. If you guys are not familiar with my algo here, what my algo does is it provides the best possible entries with the best possible win ratios at specific time. So like I talked about this earlier, this is uh, this is time based, right? So like we're not trading off price. A lot of people like, for example, we'll just use Sam for example here. Sam will say something like, "Oh, he's trying to get in at 47,100, right? 47,100." We don't trade at price. We're trading based off time. So instead of looking for entry right here, I'm looking to enter to ride momentum at 751 versus price. I don't really care about price because what I'm doing here is I'm just riding momentum. Well, my algorithm identifies it shows me that at this time every day for the past month, there's been momentum here. It's not random. There's no way this could be random. Like in order so you can see over here all the entries. Every day at 7:51, an entry was taken, right? And it won. So what happens here is this indicates that okay, there's got to be an institution, some sort of big player who's pushing price at 7:51 every single day for the past month. So what am I planning on doing? I'm looking to piggyback his ride. If he's pushing price up, I'm gonna ride that up with him. If he's pushing price down, I'm gonna ride that with him. And that's the whole concept of my algo here. My algo basically it tracks momentum 24 hours a day, and then it tells me where the big players are trading. So like this morning, all the big players were trading at 6 o'clock. Whoever was trading at that time, and then again at 6:20, and then again at 7:51, and then again at 8:50. These are the times where people are getting into positions and pushing price. And all I'm doing is I'm just piggyback riding. I'm not controlling price. I'm not predicting price. I'm just piggybacking. If they want to push price up, that's fine. They got a cool little rocket symbol here. Where's the symbols at? Um, they got a cool symbol where I can just, okay, there we go. So look, if price is going up, what am I going to do? I'm going to piggyback that. They could push price however they want to push it, but I'm going to do is I'm going to piggyback their ride. There's my rocket ship right here. So they're pushing price up. I don't care where they're pushing price to. I'm just going to piggyback. And it gives me the exact numbers right here as well. So same with this right here, for example, right? Price is pushing down. I don't care about like where price is at. I don't care about my entry. I'm just going to be jumping into this right here and piggyback that to the downside. So, it's a different way of trading. A lot of people like to trade technical analysis. I even trade technical analysis. A lot of people like to trade structure, price action. For me, I don't really care about that stuff. I just care about momentum. Wherever momentum is going, I'm going to be piggybacking that momentum in that direction. Let's see. Blanco said, "Well, I wasn't wrong. It dumped. Decided 9:30. Decided to be do the usual BS. Yeah, I know the market open chop, right? This is why I got out of the position, Blanco, because this always happens here on open. Market chop and then continuation for correction to the downside. Um, let's see. PC is asking, so you don't need to get a Series 63? No, why would I need that? We're trading futures. So for futures, it's Series 3. I don't even, let me see what's the Series 66. Yeah, I'm not trading securities. I'm trading futures here. So basically, PC's asking if I need a Series 66. I don't even know anybody who uses a Series 66. If you're trading stocks, usually it's a Series 7. But yeah, basically it allows financial professionals as both securities and investment advisor. Yeah, no, I'm not trading securities. I'm trading futures. So look at the Series 3. This is a test that I took. I took the Series 3 because I trade futures. So Series 3 is a National Commodities Futures exam. I mean, it's the same thing. It's just for futures, right? You don't need a Series 66 unless you're trading stocks. If I'm giving stock knowledge, then okay, yeah, you need a Series 7, Series 66, but I'm not trading stocks. I'm trading futures. So all I need is a Series 3. See, if you do a Series 7, this is usually see, this is the general exam. This is if you want to trade securities again. I don't trade securities or bonds and I mean I could trade futures bonds, but I don't trade corporate bonds or securities in general. Securities are just stocks. That's just what they are. Um, yeah, well I took the Series 3 and I passed it. This is the one I took and I passed it on my first try. It was a pretty difficult test because you got to know your math, you got to know your equations, you got to know all the strategies basically. You need to know all the hedging strategies, you got to know the option strategies, you got to know the bond market, you got to know basically the equations. Like you need to know all the equations. Like you need to know how to calculate bonds, you know how to know how to calculate spreads. Um, you basically have to know the entire futures market in general. You got to know what all the rules are. You got to know what the contracts are. You got to know what the rollover is, like what dates, what times, all that stuff. So yeah, that's what I took. Because all I do is I only trade futures. Let's see. Gumdrop is asking, is the 300 for one YM contract? Yes, just for one. So like basically what you're gonna be doing is the service fee will be for basically one trade. And I plan on taking about like 1 or 2 trades per day. So the odds of you know, recouping that is pretty pretty likely because I'm taking a trade almost every day. Like so every night on the Discord here, I pretty much post up my list of entries, and I already have a trade in mind. Like there's always going to be a trade here that I'm looking to take. So there's going to be a trade almost every day. Almost every day there's going to be one or two trades. Like the 752 trade, I'm probably not going to take this one, but I'll look at it. If it looks good, I'll take it. I mean, the probabilities are still high enough, right? 68%, still good. It just loses a lot of Tuesdays. Okay, let's check that out actually. So let's go over here to 752. I'm just curious now to see if this trade here, um, does better. Let's see, Maxwell said you look at volume and orders to piggyback. No, so I don't look at any of that stuff. I look at momentum. Yeah, I don't look at any. To put simple, Maxwell, I literally don't look at anything. I look at my momentum indicator right here. So this tool that I created, my momentum indicator, this indicates the direction of price. I'm just looking at where momentum is pushing. I don't look at order flow. I don't look at any of that stuff. I literally don't look at anything. All I do is I look at wherever the momentum is at, like my algo gives a specific time, and I take trades based off my momentum indicator where price is pushing. I don't look at volume. I don't look at orders. I don't look at order flow. I don't look at price action. I don't look at trend. I don't look at any of that stuff. Like, for example, the trade from today. So we took this trade over here, right, at 6 o'clock. This was against momentum. The market structure was bullish and the momentum and the trend was bullish as well. The momentum was even bullish here, right? Everything was bullish here, but we took the opposite trade because my algo said that this is where the reversal is likely to happen. So I don't go with any traditional analysis, right? For example, a traditional trader would probably they would go crazy looking at this for a sell because everything pointed towards a buy, right? We're in a bullish trend. If I turn on the pivots here, bullish trend, bullish market structure, bullish everything, and the thing is we went opposite of that. We literally went opposite of what a traditional person would look for. And I did that because my algo told me a reversal was going to happen around there. So yeah, but yeah, I'm piggybacking momentum here. That's what I'm doing. But I don't look at any of those extra things. I feel like a lot of that stuff is in law or law school, we call these things called red herrings. You guys probably heard that term before. Red herrings are like they're like traps that are placed, whether it be in law or whether it be in a story or whether it be in something. A red herring is basically just it's a distraction, right? So I feel like if you have too much over analysis, it's gonna just be a distraction for your trade. Like that's why for me, I try to keep things super, super simple. I'm like just off momentum. I'm not trading, I'm not using any other tools here. There's no structure, market structure here for support and resistance. I don't care about supply and demand. I don't look at any of that stuff because if you have too many red herrings or too many things that you're looking at, it causes this thing called, analysis paralysis. You guys have probably heard that before. You're looking at too many things and your original strategy becomes so convoluted where like you don't even know if you want to take the entry or not. And that's what I'm trying to avoid here. I'm just trying to keep it as simple as possible based off the momentum. If I win, great. If I lose, that's fine. As long as I'm taking the trade with probability on my side, right? The probability has to be high enough for me to take it. Like it's got to be above a 65%. Anything below 65% is just not worth my risk. Obviously, the trades aren't going to be 100%, but the odds are likely to be in my favor. Uh, if I check off the right boxes. Yeah, CJ said we need a surfboard symbol because we're riding the waves into profit no matter the direction. I know do they have a surfboard here? Let's see. The funny thing is I could just put a surfboard on here. Let me see if I can find that. Surfboard. I forgot what that thing is called. Um, vector. Okay, there we go. All right, 1 second. Let me get that. There we go. This is what I like about TradingView. TradingView is actually pretty cool because you can put photos on here. Oh yeah, there we go. I'm just gonna put this for every trade. It's not a real vector though. I looked up vector because there's no background for the vector for this. You can't rotate it. Never mind. See if I can find a better search for. I'll just ask ChatGPT at some point to make me a surfboard vector. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna ask ChatGPT right now. We got some free time. You are a professional graphic designer. Generate me a vector surfboard image in black. All right. So there's nothing here right now, guys. So don't worry. You guys are not missing out on any trades. There's no setup until 7:51. Price is bearish right now. So let's just take a look at the overall market structure and bias. So looking on the lower time frames, market structure is currently bearish. You can see on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15, it's bearish right now. We have break of structure below, change of character below. It's outside the fair value gap. It's getting within the discounted price. The higher time frames here though are still bullish. So on the 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, it's very strong bullish on the 31 hour and 4 hour down here. So it's a little mixed. Lower time frames are bearish, higher time frames are bullish. Looking over here at the overall trend, you can see it's pretty obvious here. 1 minute, 5 minute, 15, lower time frames, prices below the pivots, trend meters red, pivots are angling down. This indicates that we're in a bearish trend right now with regard to the lower time frames. Looking over here on the higher time frame, it's currently bearish neutral, more on the very neutral side. You can see our prices below the pivots, trend meters red, pivots are angling to the side. Same with the 1 hour over here, and then the 4 hour is still bullish. So, looking back at traditional analysis of the market, overall trend over here is more of the bearish neutral. Lower time frames are bearish. Higher time frames are more on the neutral side. Looking over here at market structure, it's pretty much the same as well. Lower time frames are bearish. Higher time frames are bullish. All right, let's see. ChatGPT gave me an image of a surfboard. I think the surfboard's too big. It's a little too big, and it's not even a vector. Yeah, it's all good. I'll have to figure out how to adjust this. We'll figure it out one day. It's just going to be a matter of time until I can get that figured out. But that's basically what we're doing, guys. We're just Oh, you know what I should do? I think this makes more sense. Okay, so this way, this makes um okay, perfect. This actually makes more sense. She's a surfer. Oh no, but it has a vector stock on the bottom. We'll just add a surfer to our position there, whether it's surfing to the upside or surfing to the downside. We're basically just surfing this momentum. But so it's currently 7:32 right now. Again, I said our entry is going to be right here at 7:51. So depending on where momentum is, if momentum is bullish, so say for example, we start to get a push to the upside right here, and we get a bullish momentum at some point, then the entry here at 7:51 will be for a buy. Vice versa, if price continues to drop lower from here. So say for example, price just keeps dropping lower and lower, right? We already got a sell momentum right here. So that 7:52 entry could be a sell. If you guys are just joining in, we're currently at a 6R for the day. There was two trade opportunities right here at 6 and 601. Then we had the breakout over here, which was on open. And then we now have the next opportunity, which is going to come up right here at 751, 752. Let's see. Talanji said US 30 literally moves in ways that lure in and fake out the majority of traders every day. Exactly. Yeah. So like I said before, guys, there's a bunch of fake outs happening right here down the middle, right? That's why I'm only looking to see where my probabilities are. Like, yeah, you could trade between 6:30 and 7 or 6:30 and 7:30, but there's the probabilities here are just not very high. They're not consistent. So I find consistency right here at 7:51, and that's where I'm actually looking to take entry. And then Talanji over here got a discount off the MPS and he took it for 20 points. Nice work, Talanji. Oh, here, Maria hooked us up. She got hers looks a lot better. So Maria over here, she got the girl surfer going. Nice work, Maria. Yeah, she took the trade right there for the sell, 6 o'clock, and then rode that wave to the downside. That's literally what we're doing, guys. To put things in as simple perspective as possible, it's really just riding the wave, right? So we're looking for the wave to go to the downside, or we're looking for the wave to go to the upside. Right here, the wave's going down. Maria has your surfer right there, riding that wave to the downside. So we're looking for like smooth entries like that, right? Nothing too crazy. We're just trying to get in and out of the position. We're not trying to control or dictate price. Like we're not like, oh, price is going to reverse from here and go completely up, right? We're just trying to catch those 40 points and just piggyback whatever direction price is going for the most part. Let's see. Maxwell said those algo draws those tall boxes and marks them up green or red, indicating high momentum. Yes, Maxwell, exactly. So these bars right here that go up and down, that's my momentum indicator. It identifies the direction of momentum. So basically this red bar indicates bearish momentum. That's like, and ideally you'd want to take a sell there, vice versa. You have a green bar right here. This is indicating either a retracement or reversal. Um, and then that's where we tie it in with our algorithm here. So we have the actual tool here that identifies momentum, and then we have the algo over here to identify a probability. A lot of people were asking if like we could automate this. We could automate it, but the thing is you don't want to take every single entry that comes up, right? You still want to have some sort of manual discretion here to identify, okay, do I want to take the trade or do I not want to take the trade? Because they're not all going to be good, right? Even though the probabilities are there, it doesn't mean the trade's guaranteed. So you still have to use some sort of discretion to identify, okay, do I want to take this? The probability is high, but do I still want to take it? Depending on like what's happening here with price. Like for example, right here, this is good because price is going to the downside, right? This is good. But when price goes sideways, you really don't know if that's going to be good or not, right? You're kind of taking a risk. So yeah, a couple different things there to kind of take into consideration. But yeah, there's not really much here to take at the moment. Let's see what we got over here. We got some team profits. So we got SAG over here. Nice work, SAG. SAG locked in 3,000 for the day. Nice. Looks like SAG took that entry right there on open as with us as well. Or he took a couple trades actually. Yeah, couple trades right there. Pretty solid. Yeah, it looks like SAG here has been pretty consistent. Today he made 3,000. Yesterday, SAG made 2,300. Great work, guys. Yeah, if you guys have profits to post up, feel free to send them in. Um, and we will go from there. So, question over here. We have a couple people who are asking like how much would be required to start with a hedge fund? You need at least 10 to 12,000 guys. So that's going to be like minimum because you just need that to cover the margin for NinjaTrader. Um, yeah, that's going to be the minimum. You're not going to be risking that much. Like, for example, if you wanted to take the trades, like, for example, we took right here, right? We took this for 20 points. If you wanted to do one contract, that would be 1 times 5 times 20. Yeah, like it's $100, like very, very low risk. So you could risk a minimum of like $100, but you just need the 10 to 12,000 to cover the margin because the margin requirements are, I mean, they're not super high. You probably could start with less, but I would say, start with a good amount to have a cushiony account. I would say 10,000 is probably going to be the bare minimum. Um, all right, yeah, I'm just telling people you need about 10,000 basically. You're not going to risk that much, but you just it needs to be floating in the account to cover the margin. So, and yeah, Maria, yes to you as well. Yeah, just feel free to message me later. I'm gonna send you the same thing I sent to Ed. It's basically, I'm just asking if you have a NinjaTrader personal account, and if you don't, you would just need to open one and deposit money into the account so that it can be used. Will said, "Hey Sean, I'm curious. Your algo it resets every 2 weeks. Is that it, or the data comes from the last 2 weeks?" It comes from the last 2 to 3 weeks. Will, so it doesn't reset. It just continues. So, like for example, today's trading day is going to be included. The 18th day is going to get taken off. The reason why it does that is that it's identifying what the current edge is, right? Because the thing is, if you guys can see here, like we have a specific time, like for example, today we took a trade at 6. This doesn't mean that the edge is always going to be at 6 o'clock, right? For next week, the edge might be at like 6:10. It might be at 6:30. It might be at 6:40, 6:50. The algo is just learning every single day. It just improves to identify where the edge is sitting at that specific time. That's why our win ratio here is pretty consistent and pretty it's pretty valid because what I'm doing is I only care about what's happening now. I don't care what happened in September. I don't care what happened in August. I don't care what happened in July. I just care what's happening right now for this specific time period. Um, because the thing is, we're just riding momentum, like I said, right? We're riding momentum wherever it's pushing. So it doesn't necessarily reset, but it adds more data at the end of each day, or not at the end of each time. So for example, right here, see how we had the 6 o'clock time here? The trade already hit. So if I was to put in the 6 o'clock trade here, let me just go back over here and show you. So 6 o'clock, we'll just put 8 right here. The numbers here are going to update because there's a new trade that's now valid, right? So I'm going to update the report. It's updating right now. You're going to see this profitability change. Also, this has to be changed to against. And then I also got to change the date here too to include today, which is the 7th. Well, the day's not done yet, so I can't, fortunately, I can't change it yet. Let me refresh this. Maybe I can change it to the 7th. But yeah, basically what my algo does is it updates every day, basically at the end of the day. Let me see if I can update this here. Okay, so see how now I could change it to the 7th? It's because 6 o'clock has already passed, right? 6 o'clock, it's now 7 o'clock. So now I can include the 7th. So now that I update, it's updating the report right here. And see, the win ratio initially was at 81.3. The win ratio should go up here. It's going to include today's trade. Now it's at 82.35, right? So now it shows you that out of the past 17 trading days, we've had 14 wins. So out of the 17 trading days, so basically 2, 3 weeks prior, it shows that we won 14 out of those trades. And every single Tuesday, the trade is won. So that's how strong the algo is. It's telling me that, okay, this is a really good trade because it wins 82.35% of the time. And then also on top of that, it wins every single Tuesday. So obviously, am I going to take that bet? Of course I will, right? Um, so my algo is very similar to card counting for blackjack. If you guys understand how card counting with blackjack is, basically, they're going to keep taking trades, and then once the high probability trade comes up, they take a bigger size, right? That's kind of similar to what we're doing here. We have a lot of trades here which are coming up, but whenever we have one that has a high probability, that's where I take my size, right? Or I take the actual entry. So if you guys want to have that's probably the most simple analogy. Look up card counting for blackjack, and if you look at how blackjack card counters, and that's the game in casinos that have the highest probability, right? If you can here, and then I'll look it up real quick. Blackjack card counting probability, right? If you there's a movie, I think it's called 21 or something like that. But basically, what we're doing here is we're trading probabilities very similar to blackjack. If you guys have seen that movie 21, it's pretty crazy. Like, these guys make a ton of money playing blackjack because they only take, they take size when their probability is high enough. We're doing the same thing here. I'm only taking, like, for example, my 6 o'clock trade. I only took this trade because we had an 81% win ratio, right? There's other entries here, but I chose to go with the one with the highest win ratio because I wanted to be sure that that trade was probably going to hit. So yeah, I mean that's why we've been on a win streak lately, mainly because I'm able to identify what's risky and what's not, which is a big edge. You know, a lot of people don't have that edge. Like especially yourself, for a lot of traders out there, they're just taking trades that they think are going to hit, right? This thing is I know it's going to hit, or I know for sure like there's a probability that's going to hit because the numbers here already tell me that. So let's go back to this upcoming trade. It's going to be at 7:52. We're getting closer to it, guys. So if you guys want to take this entry, I'll try to do an analysis for you guys here. Like I said earlier, this is going to be with momentum. So if you want to look at this entry, it's going to be right here. 7:52 with momentum. Probability is 68.8. I'm going to change the settings here back to with momentum. It has a 68.8% probability of it hitting. 20/40 win ratio. So basically, whatever the momentum is here, that's what you're going to be looking to take. We look at the trade analysis here, 11 winning trades, 5 losing trades. Percentage profitable is 68.75. Average P&L is basically 531. Average winning trade is a full 1,000. So it lines up perfectly, right? Average winning trade is a flat 1,000. Average losing trade is 500. This shows you that there's not a lot of manipulation there because on average it reaches a full target or full TP. There's no spikes. So this would be a decent entry, not a good entry, but a decent entry. I even put the note right there, decent entry. Loses most Tuesdays. So it doesn't lose every Tuesday, but it loses most Tuesdays. So we're probably not going to take this trade here. Um, so you can see over here, this is last Tuesday, September 30th. It was a loss. The Tuesday before that was September 16th. It was a win. And that's about it. So like for the past month, that's basically, or let me see. So 30th right here, it was a loss. The 23rd, it was also a loss. And the 16th over here, it was a win. So basically on Tuesdays, it'll win one out of the 3 trades for the past month. So I don't like those odds, right? Those odds aren't really in my favor. So for me personally, I'm probably gonna sit out of it. If you guys want to take it, I'll mark it up for you guys. But this right here is just not, the criteria just isn't that good. Let's see. Blanco said, I have a hard job to do. I want to make money. I want to make my strat into an algo so I could have all this info. Doing it like this is so helpful, but creating the algo part is not that simple. Some strats are not simple to create into an algo. Yeah, Blanco, 100%. I agree with you 1,000%, bro. Like this took me, well, I actually did this pretty quick. I did this, it took me a couple of months to put this together. Well, no, the momentum indicator took me a couple of years, but once I had this indicator produced, I was able to put it into an algo like this, within a couple of months. The thing is, I have no coding background. I have literally no coding background. I just did it from trial and error. I just had a goal in mind to make as much money as possible using this strategy. So that was my motivation, right? I was like, okay, I need to improve this algo more and more. So every day I'm improving this algo so that our win ratio is higher and higher, right? Because obviously, that's really your edge in trading. If you have probabilities on your side and they're real probabilities. So the difference with this and journaling yourself, right? Because a lot of people say to journal your own trades. I agree with that. Journaling your own trades, but you can't find probabilities journaling your trades. This is just to learn from your trade psychology. To have real probability, to have real edge in the market, you have to know what the numbers are, right? Like I could argue, or anybody could argue with me about this. If I was to choose whether I'm going to choose a strategy that people are profitable with and having the data, I would choose the data any day because I don't care what someone says about a strategy, right? Someone's like, oh, this is a 70% win ratio strategy or an 80% win ratio strategy, or I'm doing a 1 to 5 and I only need like one trade. Just because you have a strategy doesn't mean it's profitable. You have to have the data behind it. And this data over here, it gives you everything. Literally tells you how many trades are taken, how many buys, how many sells. This is another thing, right? If I'm looking at these trades here and I see that there's more wins for buys or for sells, I'm gonna look to take those trades, right? So for example, over here, 3 of the trades were wins. 8 of the trades that were wins were sells, right? So what would you rather take here? I'd probably would rather stick with the sell here because the data shows me that the sells here typically win. right? The sells have a better chance of winning versus the buys here. There's no guarantee it's going to happen, but if you get a sell here, again, this it looks like it's going to be a sell entry. So looking at this over here, damn, I pushed the wrong button. It's going to be a sell entry. So if you guys want to take this here for a sell, I mean, you have the opportunity here to take it, and I'll mark it up for you guys here. I'm not going to take the trade because I don't like the price. The basically price is going sideways, right? I don't like price going sideways like this. If we had moment, if like price was going to the downside, like consistently like this, then okay, great, I'll take that sell. The reason why I'm worried to take a trade here is that I don't want to be caught in back and forth, right? I don't want the market just be going back and forth, back and forth. And that's probably what's going to happen here. We're probably going to get a flat market and it's probably just going to keep going back and forth, which I don't want. I want momentum to push price in that direction. All right, guys, we're here. We are here at 751. So at 751, if you guys want to take this trade, it's going to be a sell. You got to wait for this candle to close. I'll watch it for you guys. I'm not going to take it because obviously it just doesn't look like a super good entry to me. The data shows that it's an okay entry, but in order for me to take it, it's got to be a good one. Yeah, Solange said on an ugly potential MPS. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Oh, nice. Yeah, Maxwell said, "Hey, that's my background, software engineer turned trader." Yeah, do you ever think about creating algos or strategies or indicators, Maxwell? Because I mean, there's a big demand for it. I mean, if you're good at coding this stuff. I mean, for me, this stuff isn't that difficult. This is Pine script. This is probably like one of the easiest scripts to learn. If you know how to code in C plus or C plus plus, whatever it is, that's where you can make a lot of money because you can start coding strategies for NinjaTrader. That one's actually really difficult. I know Elad here. I don't know if he's here right now, but yeah, Elad's our old school coder. So he's probably the most knowledgeable with C plus, C plus plus, or whatever it is. A lot of people don't know how to code in that language because it's very difficult. There's a lot of backend. All right, so good thing we skipped the trade here because, like I said, this here wouldn't have played out, right? So good thing that we skipped that trade there. Like I said, that it was a decent entry, but it loses most Tuesdays. So the stats over here, this is what we talked about. I said if this trade loses every Tuesday, probably not going to take it because it's probably going to lose again. The odds of it winning for you this one Tuesday is not very likely. So I didn't take that trade there, of course. Um, there's another one right here. This is a 752 one. So there's another opportunity here. We'll follow this one and kind of see where it goes. But yeah, this one over here would be the next one. This is the one that I actually marked up. So there's a 751 one, but the one that I was looking to actually take would be the one after it, 752. We're currently at the 752 candle. Or no, actually, sorry, it's supposed to be a buy, but I wouldn't, obviously right here, I still wouldn't have taken it because, like I said, it loses most Tuesdays, so I'm not going to take that risk. The next target entry that I have is a little bit later, guys. It's at 8:52, so I don't even know if I'll be able to take this trade because it's so late. But this trade won yesterday, right here, guys. 8:54. This trade won yesterday. There's only a couple target entries for me. There's one at 6 o'clock, which we took earlier this morning. And then the next target entry, you can see I put target entry right there. The next target entry is going to be right here at 8:54. So I'm obviously not going to be on the live session. I'm actually going to wrap this up pretty soon. Um, but my next target entry is going to be later at 8:54, which is going to be in an hour. I'll probably check it out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set an alarm on my phone so I can come back to take a look. I'm not going to be live for it, but I'm going to set an alarm just to check. So I'll do 8:50. But all right, guys, if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put your questions in the chat. It looks like I'm done for the day. We took one trade, or I took one trade. There was three entries which showed up today that which we kind of followed for the algo. Pretty decent. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much what we locked in for the day. If you guys have some profits to post up, feel free to send them in. These are my profits for the day, locked in 10,105. For today, Tuesday, we just took one trade, which was a partial. Again, my stats for the year so far, I'm currently up 861,000. So it's good. My goal is to hit the million, of course. So hopefully we can get that by the end of the year. I think we will, as long as we stay consistent and avoid bad entries. But yeah, I think that might be it for today, guys. It's about to be 8 o'clock, so volatility here is probably going to flatten out a bit. And there's no entries here until way later. Yeah, until 8:54. 8:54, which is going to be 10:54. I'll just pull the stats up here so I have an idea of what to look for. It's going to be with momentum. Yeah, so 68.8% win ratio possibly at that time. But all right, guys, I think that's it. If you guys have more profit to post up, feel free to send them in the Discord. Yeah, feel free to send them in the Discord. Otherwise, I think we're done for the day, guys. So good trading day today. Our official entries were the 6 o'clock ones. There's one at 6 o'clock, one at 6:01, and then the breakout over here at 6:30. These were both 2 hour trades for 40 points, and then the breakout entry over here hit for 80 points. And that was about it. So good trading day overall. Not a lot of opportunities for entry. Hopefully the algo tonight will provide us more opportunities for entry, and then hopefully tomorrow we'll be ready to take those as well. I think because the 6 o'clock has been hitting pretty much every day for the past couple of days, we're probably going to be taking the 6 o'clock entry again tomorrow. But I'll probably, I'll give you guys an update in the Discord if I'm going to be taking that trade. But ideally, it's probably going to line up. So, all right, guys, I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live session. Yeah, CJ said the 10-minute strat